All right, Coach, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cleveland Browns and the Kansas City Chiefs. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Emmanuel Ogbah there on the stop. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Now Mahomes throwing on second down. Harris has it over the middle. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connect.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
On second down, here's Mahomes. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now, there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So, following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Play action. Now it's Mahomes. Going deep for Hopkins. And it's incomplete. Both players had a shot at that one. Neither can get it, and it brings up 4th down.
But one thing's for sure, when you've got a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 37. On 1st and 10, Mayfield. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by K'Von Webster. And he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City. Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. The extra point up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Now it's Duke Johnson here on the return. And there he goes again. And he's going to take this all the way down inside the 40.
Well, he gave up the first touchdown of the game, but how about the response? Big-time return. Now it's their chance to try and put points on the board.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help. And
they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give him the yardage that they needed.
And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. Jeremiah Tauchu in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Mayfield on play action. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
I know we just saw a nice throw and catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Mayfield now on 2nd down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
But it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl yet.
And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Duke Johnson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying this thing up.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And out come the Chiefs now. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating 1st downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Tackle made by Demarius Randall.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Blue 45. Blue 45.
They fake the give. Now Mahomes. And incomplete.
I know tight ends love this route because a lot of times they'll fake a block first and get a little bit of space and then come across the middle because in their mind, they're thinking catch the ball and then drop the hammer on the little guys in the secondary.
Unable to drop the hammer, he just dropped the pass. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. They go play action. Now Mahomes. Able to find Harris, complete. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs 1st down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
Mahomes now on first down. Caught left side, Hopkins. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. They go play fake. Mahomes. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Now here's Mahomes. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Emmanuel Ogbah. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Here's Dustin Colquitt now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. This is taken at the 18. "21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown. Now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And he slings one that's incomplete.
He's not exactly had a banner start to this game. We're still in the first quarter. He's already thrown an interception, and that should have been the second one.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. That is caught. It's Perriman. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. This is Breida. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 18 yards on each of the last 2 plays, and they're picking up big chunks now.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Play action now. Here's Mayfield rolling to his right. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Michael Thomas, his first touchdown on the year. And the Browns are able to cash in for 6. So he scrambled right, but was able to look back toward the middle of the end zone to find the target.
As you know, in this game, sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules because we all know most guys throwing the football are taught never throw back into the middle of the field on a scramble. He did it and got away with it for a touchdown.
Instinct sometimes, right? They just take over.
Instinct and vision. Sometimes you just see people who are open, you're able to get it to them.
This is T.J. Logan to return it. And that should give his guys a spark. He's up all the way to the 44-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs on 1st and 10 at their own 44. They begin the drive with Williams. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On play action, it's Mahomes. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. Mahomes finding Hill for a big play. And even 50 yards. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They'll run it with Williams. And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Damian Williams, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Point after, right down the middle. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
Defensively, it was Tremont Smith with the tackle. Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
Man, how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play, moving his way into the inside and making that play happen. No gain for the offense, big play for the defense.
And Callaway taking it in left side. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Second down, Mayfield. And he's got this one complete to Callaway. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And he stopped immediately there. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. And he had a nice play there from his free safety position to hold him to nothing.
And, Brandon, remember when the free safety was always back, away from the line of scrimmage?
That's changed.
That changed in a big way. The way we see it now, they're almost mirrors between the free safety and the strong safety. One will be up, one will be back, or sometimes both will be in the same spot. On that play, the free safety was there, no gain.
He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either called pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit. A great read and they get to the backfield and make the play.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
With it on the return is Logan. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else he'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Flush to his right. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down. The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
A really nice gain of 25 yards. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. They go play action here on 1st down. Good move at the 30. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. So 1:56 to play in this first half. We're back to Arrowhead after this. Here's Breida. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Now a 2nd down throw for Mayfield. Over the middle, open is Thomas. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available, Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Brandon Williams in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on second and goal, back even further. From the gun, Mayfield. And he's got it. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A touchdown-saving tackle there. Now it's third and goal. So it's third and goal now, and this is where the Arrowhead crowd can make it very tough. They'll try to run with Breida, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. And his kick is right there. It's good. So we come upon halftime, and it's the visiting Browns with a lead. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. Butker now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
This quarterback now, pretty amazing. 14 of 16 throwing the ball. It's 1st and 10. They run with Breida. And he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory. The pass rush specialist, D. Ford, in on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Mayfield. Looking long for Thomas. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. To throw, Mayfield. And incomplete here on third down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And a Reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Mahomes hit. He lost the football. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Holding on to the football becoming a little bit of an issue. He had 2 fumbles last week, remember.
I played for a guy that used to talk all the time about creating turbulence in the pocket, making the quarterback jumpy, make him antsy, keep getting after him a little bit, and make sure he thinks about holding on to the ball because you're going after him.
Now he's flushed out left. Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
Now it's Breida. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Browns take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Now the try here for the point after. Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. With it on the return is Logan. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Ready, green 39, green 39.
Play action. Now it's Mahomes. Going deep for Hopkins. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to him.
Toward the sideline, did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Throw left side complete. It's Harris. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. On play action, they'll throw. Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Gonna need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack for Mahomes and company. Mahomes gonna throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And it's incomplete, almost intercepted. He had a great shot at picking that off in the end zone. It brings up 4th down. Here's Dustin Colquitt now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And the Browns getting set to go. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. Their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. Oh, what a juke into space. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Duke Johnson, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Browns add 6 to their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. With it on the return is Logan. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the pickup there and a 1st.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that 1st half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
On 1st down, Mahomes. It's a loss of 11 on the play, and it'll make this a 2nd and long. Final minute now of the 3rd quarter. Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And it's a huge return as he brings this all the way back down to the 15-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept the pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead.
Detroit! Detroit!
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. The Browns on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They're going to let their fullback try and push the pile. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. We're back now in KC. And we'll begin it with a field goal try here. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick here is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And now here comes Kansas City. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Caught on the right side by Adams. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. That's just his 2nd catch of the game. They wanted to keep him silent. They have kept him silent.
Defensive football 101. Don't let the best player on offense beat you. Take him out of the game, and they've done a great job of doing that.
Now Mahomes. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. On the give, this is their fullback. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily, you're right, but he did there. Well, the offense, they got the ball in a great spot, but they went nowhere, forced him to take just the 3.
And they'll be, happy taking the 3. But those guys on the other side, they've got to be ecstatic. They didn't let them get anywhere. It made them kick a field goal. That almost feels like they got the advantage, doesn't it?
Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Larry Ogunjobi there to make the tackle.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Here's Mahomes to throw. Mahomes hit. He lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Throwing now is Mahomes. He's going to let this one go deep. And that's caught inside the 35. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. A big play on third down for the Chiefs. 63 yards. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to swing the tight.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off down near the 5. Look at the big man rumble. The 40. And a terrific return as he brings this one all the way back to the 30. Facing this 4th quarter deficit, felt like they had to throw the ball, and on the other side, they were ready.
No doubt about it. They're playing situational football. They look at the clock, they know the lead that they have, and all they're doing is playing pass on every down.
Playing the pass, picking it off, and now big time in the driver's seat. Now a handoff, Johnson. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. That's good for a Cleveland 1st down, an 11-yard pickup.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They stay on the ground on 1st with Johnson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great effort there. His 1st touchdown on the year. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points.
Touchdown. There we go. Nice move.
A try here for the extra point. The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
They go play action. Now Mahomes. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Emmanuel Ogbah in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. Gonna need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Looking deep for Adams. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. They begin the drive with Johnson. There goes Duke Johnson. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Starting to really smell a 4-0 start right now. Yeah, can't ask for a better first quarter of the season than that.
And you're not supposed to look ahead, but guess what?
You're going to?
They have to, because when you get to if you get to 4-0, you're not just thinking playoffs now. You're thinking about, okay, this team has the capabilities of winning a Super Bowl. They could very well be the best team in the NFL at this moment.
I think they played the best. I mean, there have been a few hiccups offensively and defensively, but probably the best team we've seen, right?
And has the ability to get better.
And the Chiefs now getting set to go. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They fake the give. Now Mahomes. He's going to wind up and air it out. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. The Chiefs on third down. Not quite 50%. 4 for 9. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Working from the gun. Mahomes. Able to find Harris. Complete. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. 7 yards there. Good enough to move the sticks. They go play fake. Mahomes.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide.
And this is caught. A big play there for KC. 59 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
On 2nd and goal, standing alone in the backfield is Williams. He's going to get it running right. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. To throw, it's Mahomes. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College. Not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
But that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards, too.
Oh, no, there was no ice bath. You're just trying to get out of there before the reporters got to you. Now, that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get it to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them.